Let's take a second up top on the podcast. Shout out to Steve Urkel.
Yeah, dude.
Man, what a part of our childhood, huh?
Shout out to Steve.
I mean, a comedy legend. You think if you just do something like that with your life, can you imagine having something that big?
Right.
What would you even do with like, how would you even think about it?
I still have the Steve Urkel video. I don't know if you remember when we shot Steve Urkel. I was like, I used to act just like him. It's on my Instagram.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, I got it. I couldn't delete it. It's only got a low amount of views, but I'm like, hey, maybe he'll see it.
What was the video?
The video is a Steve Urkel costume. And I'm like, oh, I used to act like Steve Urkel all the time. Remember at the video, the joke was, but he's smart, because I was dumb,
Wow.
But Steve was smart. It's the only video that I left up of all the ones that didn't go mega viral.
Oh, wow.
I cleaned up my page.
So was it like, what was your relationship with Urkel back in the day?
Dude, I used to act like him every single day. I have a video on my phone. We'll share it on the pod. I'm 5 years old, acting like Steve Urkel.
Jeez.
Yep. At a wedding.
You were a big Family Matters guy, or was it just Urkel?
I didn't miss an episode. Loved it all. Loved Eddie. Loved the car. I had the biggest crush on Laura. I used to always be like, Laura.
Wow.
My uncles would get me to do it. They'd be all drunk and stoned. They'd be like, come down and act like Urkel. It'd be 2 in the morning.
Hey, boy, get down here.
Yeah, I come down the steps. Hi, you guys. They'd be all drunk, cracking up.
Yeah, you got school the next day.
Yeah. Where's Laura?
Well, just think, just imagine at that very moment, how many living rooms across America where the exact same thing was happening.
Yeah.
It was just, that was the impression.
Yeah.
It was like a real cultural moment.
He was probably as big as Bugs Bunny.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, when you think about it.
For our generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it was all people forget, that show wasn't on for that long, right?
I don't know. I watched every.
It was just always there.
Episode. Yeah.
But it was when it. It wasn't one of those shows where things don't carry over from episode to episode. Right?
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
No, they set up the episode in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's just in, and then it was the show because that show didn't start as the Urkel show. It started as Family Matters, but then they just had this weird character that come in every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then within a couple seasons, I think they figured out no, this is where the money's at.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think it took a couple seasons. I think the first couple episodes didn't even have Steve.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know for sure, but I think when he hit it,
it's such a weird character to throw in because the rest of the show is so normal.
Yeah.
Every other character on that show is a normal, Carl. It's a regular guy.
Yeah.
But then they just throw in this fucking insane person who just pops in and steals the scene every time.
And the toys and everything.
Yeah.
You ever see the one video where they make fun of it? Was it Key and Peele or SNL? They make fun of the Urkel sketch, where they're Urkel wants it, so they're all afraid.
Oh, yeah. Nah, but it was that character. Because the thing is, if they made Family Matters today, every character would be Urkel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it would be a bunch of it would be 5 wacky, insane characters. But that's what made Urkel funny.
He was like the Kramer.
He was like Kramer times 100, though.
Right.
Even Kramer's like a regular guy. Urkel is like an alien. It's like Alf. When he just pops in, and all of a sudden it's you can't take your eyes off him.
Yeah, dude, the whole outfit, everything.
And he's always sniffing or something.
The way he walked. I mean, he took physical. I forgot about this. All this, Well, this is what we'll do. That physical comedy.
What do you think? He had to be, 10 years old, 12 years old doing that?
That's a good question.
Just think, how... because the character was so defined from the beginning, where it's how do you even tell somebody to act like that?
Right.
What is even? How do you write that down on paper?
I wonder if he put on the clothes and he just started acting like it.
But I think he must have acted like it a little bit, and then the director is like, "Wait, whatever you just did, do that times 100."
Yeah.
Yeah, do that a lot, even more. It's got to be even crazier.
I didn't realize he was that young because how those shows are. They'll have a guy that's 25 years old.
Yeah, I'm guessing. He's a little guy.
Yeah.
When you look at him now, he's like a regular adult.
Yeah, you can see he's adult.
So he's I think he really was just like a child prodigy actor.
How many followers does he have?
Quite a bit.
Yeah. If you inboxed him, he might not even see it.
I don't know. What could I even say to Steve Urkel?
You'd have to say, bro, I got to meet you. Let's go have lunch.
Nah.
Dude, it's fucking Steve Urkel.
Nah. This is it was a moment. It's a moment knowing that Steve Urkel was on his phone and he saw my face for a second. That is imagine if I could go back to when I was 10 years old, watching Family Matters. We were both watching the exact same thing about that.
Yeah,
we didn't know
same
each other. It
age,
was going to be
same time.
20 years in the future we meet each other. But at the time, we were both at home watching Family Matters every night. But it was like, if I could go back to me with being 10 years old and just tell myself, like, that guy's going to know who you are.
I don't know how you don't have the discipline. I'd have to message him. I
Well,
almost
you feel
followed
like
him, but I didn't want to fuck shit up.
You feel like everybody's got to do that. I mean, this guy, that's the other thing. You think about what his life has like now. How many of the exact same conversation he has every single day.
He's sick of hearing about it.
Yeah.
You'd have to comment on a movie he did that nobody knows about. I really liked you in that episode of Black Mirror you were in.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever.
I think he's on Star Trek or something. He pops in. But it's like, I don't know if because I know like Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin has kind of like a weird relationship with it where he doesn't really want to talk about it. He's not embarrassed, but it's also like, that was he was a child.
Right.
So now he has like kind of a new identity. But if you did something that big, what would you even be thinking about the rest of your life?
Yeah, it's
Could
like
you even remember it?
they had him on those things, those reunions about Urkel. I remember it looked like Laura was trying to get on him. He was like, "I'm good."
Yeah. But
they had the reunion recently.
It's just, I mean, that's like even Stallone does Rocky, and he got that was his biggest thing. But he did get to do some other stuff. It was never as big as Rocky, but he did get to like branch off a little bit.
If Stallone followed me or if Urkel followed me, dude, I have to be in the inbox. There's no way. I mean, dude,
I guess.
time is of the essence.
Stallone. Oh, Stallone's old.
Urkel's just as big as Stallone.
Urkel's not an old guy though. Stallone is like only probably got about 10 years left. So
Yeah, I don't care, dude. I wish Urkel would fucking follow me. I left the video. I want to share it. Just.
Well, come on. He's seen that. He sees that every day.
Yeah.
People still do Urkel impressions. That's the thing, too, is like I was saying, that show, I wouldn't even want to watch it now.
What do you think the video...
There's no way it holds up.
What do you think the video was that made him follow you?
I can see it.
Oh, how can you
Instagram
tell?
shows you. It says followed you.
I always wondered how you could tell that,
It says
though.
followed you from your reel. If you press reel, it goes to the video.
Oh.
And so he followed me from the gambling video I did.
Damn, dude.
Damn.
I seen you just jumped up about 7,000 since last week.
It's
crazy.
at 90, 91, I think.
Dude, 91 already. That's 1,000 this morning.
Just try to visualize 90,000 people in one room, and then you look in the distance. It's like, oh, that's fucking Urkel right there. That's spotlight.
Yeah, dude.
That's the guy.
Yeah, I went back. I looked at all the people that follow me. It's all these. I get MMA fighters, UFC fighters, boxers.
A lot of people that have been punched in the head a few times.
Yeah. Well, there's some Olympic guys, like a
lot
swimmer.
of CTE. Yeah.
More athletes.
I get some of those. Yeah, they're like it's always a guy who was in the NFL like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's like a youth pastor or something.
I want to get Shannon Sharp to follow me, man.
Oh man.
That would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be big.
I'd go on the couch, just start talking shit about everybody.
Did
you see Godfrey impersonating Shannon Sharp right in front of him?
Man, he's a killer.
Yeah, dude. Nailed it.
But imagine, like, because you do all these little sketch videos. Just imagine one video gets 200 million views.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of your time, every other video, people are commenting about that video.
Right.
Where it's like, and you can't get away from it.
Yeah.
And you keep, because you're always going to be posting new stuff, but it's like, if you get known that well for one thing, I mean, what can you even, like, what's your next move at that point?
Right.
Do you got to go away for a while and then try to come back, or do you just keep pushing?
Keep pushing. Mine's Museum of the Dog. Nothing stopped. Ohio accent, Museum of the Dog.
Oh, man.
Every comment.
Yeah,
or the gold chain one.
But it's like, that's your Urkel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But imagine that times, I mean, compare that to Urkel. It's that times a million. And it's like, back in the 90s especially, this is pre-social media. So back before, everybody sees this dude walking around when he's that age. It's like, imagine being 12 years old and getting this kind of attention.
You know what's crazy with, like, Denzel, how he doesn't get cast in one certain thing. Like, I feel like you could watch Denzel and you're not still putting him with Training Day.
By the time he did Training Day and Malcolm X and everything, he'd already had, like, a slow climb of, like, a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, Rocky was worse because that was, Stallone wasn't famous.
Yeah.
So he was just a regular actor.
One
struggling
big
guy.
hit.
And he had just fucking massive hit. And then, I mean, like, I read that book about him, and he's like, he was trying to get away from it.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
read the book too.
between Rocky 3 and 4, there's a long gap. Because he's trying to do all these, like, serious, dramatic roles. And everybody's like, no, we want to see Rocky.
Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger.
I wish we
See
would have
you
got
run.
more Urkel, to be honest with you.
You think that, but I think you don't realize. When's the last time you watched Family Matters?
I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Exactly. You probably don't realize how much Urkel there was. And if you watch it again now, you wouldn't feel right about it. That's why I say for that kind of thing, don't even go back.
Yeah.
It's better in your head.
Yeah, you're probably
the
right.
memories are better than what the real thing was. Because, 90s sitcom comedy does not hold up. That's just like The Simpsons or something.
I couldn't imagine how famous he was.
Oh, man. How many, like, annoying impressions people had to do?
Every show had somebody like remember Saved by the Bell had Screech. I never got into Saved by the Bell, though.
Yeah.
I don't like the shows with the kids with no shirts on and stuff. It was a lot of that, was sexualizing.
Well,
Zach
it was
and the
like,
other
yeah,
guy.
I agree. But Family Matters was like, it was funny and also wholesome at the same time.
And it taught you a lesson.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes
the
there was
Cosby Show.
sometimes there's a serious lesson where it's like he stays out too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets caught drunk driving.
Or the cop pulled him over for no reason. You arrested my son.
Yeah.
You know, he's a guy that Carl Weather or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He can only play
Reginald Denny.
cops. Remember,
Yeah,
he
he's
was
on
a
Die Hard.
cop in Die Hard.
Mhm.
What else did he really do? I think he was a cop in maybe two other
Something
things.
else. Yeah. Oh, he just looks like a cop. That's how you ended up getting cast back then.
Yeah.
He just got the cop vibes.
Was he the guy that went in South Central where they steal his car sounds? That man stole my car sounds.
yeah.
I think he was.
I think so. Yeah.
You shot him in the back.
But no, it's like there were sitcoms back then. They every like 5-6 episodes there'd be a serious one.
Yeah.
It's like Fresh Prince.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like, yeah. He's asking why his dad doesn't love him.
It's crazy. I was so into Fresh Prince also. Like, I feel like now that show doesn't hold up, but they had Carlton.
Ah.
I mean, every show
Yeah, it's
needs
true.
somebody
There
like
was like
that.
the comedy relief. He just pops in every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted the shoes Will Smith had. I wanted the clothes, the outfits. I tried to piece shit together from Walmart. Never looked the same.
I think that show holds up.
Really?
If
Maybe
you went
I should
back,
go
that
back.
show is actually like high quality stuff. Because it wasn't like of the time. It wasn't like a show about the 90s. Whereas Family Matters was very much a 90s kind of show.
Yeah.
So it's like Fresh Prince, it was more like, because it's Will Smith. It's also like, he kept going.
Yeah, it's true.
I imagine, Will Smith would be the one.
What, if he followed you?
If you met him, that would be like, yeah.
Yeah,
Who do you
I
think,
feel a
who do you
little
think
indifferent
would it
because
be?
he's...
Stallone on top? Is that number one for you?
Yeah, Stallone would be number one. I'm a little weird with Will Smith smacking Chris Rock's crossing the line. Everybody
He's
gets
a passionate
mad.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Honestly,
Chris
Bill
Rock-
Burr was the one. Dude, because we do comedy. Norm Macdonald, I wish I would have talked to him more. Eddie Murphy. Man, if I could meet Eddie Murphy, Stallone would definitely be.
I think, as much as you like Bill Burr, I think Stallone would be like. that's your
Stallone still would
childhood.
be crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like, man,
I think you'd start crying and shit.
I'd want to hang with Eddie Murphy and just hang with him.
Yeah,
Because the comedy's next level.
that's not happening. Eddie Murphy is like, you have a much better chance of meeting. You probably have a better chance of meeting Obama than you do Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, you're right.
Eddie Murphy's in the hills. That dude is hidden.
Yeah.
I think Stallone, though, I could see that happening. You're just in an airport, or if maybe you do some sort of awards show and he's just walking by.
Yeah.
I think he's the kind of guy, he'll give you a moment.
My mother met him at a Boom Boom Mancini fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was there.
Wow. Yeah, what would you even say?
I'd be like, hey,
Would
I
you
know
actually,
Boom Boom
like-
too.
Would you go up to Stallone and like actually like tell him about your childhood and shit, or like
Nah, I think I'd just be like, I love your stuff, man.
you play it cool?
Yeah.
That's what you think now. Everybody, I bet Stallone every single day he sees a grown man cry, because he just anytime he goes somewhere, it's probably somebody who like gets too crazy with it,
Yeah.
especially Italian guys.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It's like
Well, imagine like Tony Danza when he met Stallone for the first time.
Oh man.
I met Tony Danza. He started throwing punches.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well,
I was
think
like, I love your stuff. He just started throwing hooks on Broadway.
when you're that famous, I think you have to develop a plan for what you're going to do when people come up. Because those guys get approached every day, so it's like
I noticed they keep it moving. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
gotta
They know
look like
how to
you're
have
busy.
a conversation while you keep going.
Yeah.
Even you take a picture while moving. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Love your stuff.
They got that one smile they can hit.
Can you
It's
say
like,
hi to my mom for me?
oh yeah, right. If you meet De Niro or somebody.
Yeah, De Niro would be a crazy one. Some of those guys, you never know how to act. Like, I knew a guy that was driving for Pacino, and he got fired because he just said hi to him. So it's like,
oh yeah.
some
Well,
of
I
those
mean,
people
that's
could be weird.
I mean, that's different if you're in like a professional capacity. It's like, yeah, you got to play it cool.
I feel like I'm always gonna be the cool dude if I make it.
Everybody says that until until you're Urkel. And
I
it's
don't
been
have-
20 years, and it's like, yeah, you're sick of hearing it.
You're lucky.
Asking about cheese.
You come off standoffish. Like, people probably
Yeah.
won't bother you too much. You're pretty quiet and reserved. Like,
Yeah.
I was looking, you don't follow many people on Instagram. If I unfollow somebody on Instagram, they inbox me.
That's why I don't follow them in the first place. This is going to be a problem. So I
Yeah.
don't follow anybody on TikTok. So
Yeah.
I can't start following people because then I got to follow everybody. So,
Right.
So yeah, we got to.
I got to unfollow about 3,500 people. I
You gotta draw
unshared
some
a
boundaries.
video. People are hitting me up. Yo, man, that was the only good video I had on my page. It's like, look, man, I'm sorry. I got to,
We got to start over.
I'm starting fresh.
We need boundaries.
I don't want too much bullshit on there.
Well, I mean, that's why it was like we missed the days of like, no matter how famous we get now, we missed the good years.
Yeah, we
I
did.
mean, we missed the good years by a lot.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's about 20 years ago was the last time you could have actually had a good time being famous.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like,
you know,
yeah.
there's certain people now, like, you could see in conversation, they'll be like, oh, Pete Davis messaged me, but I don't want to message him because that would be weird, you know?
Yep.
But it's like, then if there's somebody now from this point forward, there is no more weirdness to it. I think maybe he might have been the last one to get that famous to where it was weird. Because
Right.
now everybody's famous on social media. I think he got famous before he been famous on social media. He wasn't famous on social
SNL,
media.
You know,
SNL was the thing that just took him from the beginning. I don't think he was like,
but he was always like a tabloid kind of guy too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, once he got SNL, he was pretty quickly. He was dating everybody, and
Because nowadays it's like people get famous before they get famous. Like, you get famous online
Well,
first.
that's the thing. It's like being famous on Instagram is more intense than being famous from like movies and shit because people feel like they know you.
Yeah. Right.
So like when we're walking down the street and someone recognizes you, it's like their eyes light up because it's like it's an intimate relationship. You're always,
yeah.
you're right there on the screen.
That door's open.
Yeah. Whereas opposed to like if you see somebody, you know the guy from the State Farm commercial, and it's like he's kind of a background figure.
Yeah.
And you see him in person, it's like that's the guy. But it's like no, if they know you, then people think that they know you.
Yeah, I guess that's the difference. Because to me, it does get weird. People just straight up, I feel like certain things that I go through with coworkers on videos, I'm like, you wouldn't ask anybody else this,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why we could have been famous in the 90s or the 80s when it was like, yeah, you don't ask me shit.
Right.
Yeah. You ask my manager.
I almost want to get it to that. Like, there was a comedy club I won't mention, but the comedian felt like the owner of the club or whatever felt like he could just cross the line with me or whatever, just because I don't know, for whatever reason.
Right.
But if I was on TV to him, like, it's like, bro, what's it? I'm the one getting recognized. There is comics here on TV, and you know who people are taking pictures with? Me.
Right.
It's like, so if you're not going to cross the line with them, why the fuck are you crossing it with me?
Right.
But it is the Instagram thing, I guess.
Well, I mean, there's that, but it's also like, because I mean, back in the day, people were still getting disrespected.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stories.
I guess I just didn't know about it.
Stories about the Comedy Store back in the day, where it's like, no, this guy's not getting on stage. Seinfeld couldn't get past the Comedy
That's
Store.
crazy when you
Yeah.
think about it.
I mean, famously, but it was like the kind of fame though, where it was like, this is back before people were taking pictures everywhere.
Yeah.
Back before anybody was like, you could just, late night shit going on. Back in those days, where it was like you weren't worried about who's recognizing you and who's gonna take,
Yeah.
there's gonna be video footage of it, or it's like, no, you can't even be like, it's a good thing you kind of stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Because you can't be that drunk in public anymore.
No, you're right.
If you're a public figure like that, it's like you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, it's
You're
100%.
out there looking sloppy.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
Whereas in like the 60s, James Dean or somebody could have been fucking hammered in public.
Right, there's no
Then
cameras.
a few people have a funny story, but there's not like, you're not ruining your career
Yeah.
just because you feel like fighting somebody.
I'm going to get little disguises when I get real famous.
You're going to have to start wearing a hat.
Yeah, I'll throw a hat on.
Yeah. The sunglasses, you're going to have to walk around with a hunch a little
Little
bit.
fake mustache. Well, I already have a hunch, so I'd have to stand up straight.
Right. That's the thing.
Start
I wonder
walking with
with,
my feet straight.
with Urkel, because he doesn't, it's not like he wears the glasses in real life. He looks more like Stefan Urkel or whatever.
Yeah, he does.
So it's like, I mean, I think people recognize him, but at least he's not still in character. And, you know, at least there was a little bit of a boundary.
Like, you think they could walk past him? I don't know, because he still looks enough like Urkel. That's somebody.
It's different between Urkel and Carlton. As Carlton was not, there was no glasses.
Yeah.
He looks pretty much the same.
Yeah,
that
he
guy,
does.
Yeah, it's not aged very well. So it's like, that looks like that guy gets stopped every day and has to do fucking Carlton dance.
I bet he hated it.
Yeah.
I loved Carlton. He was probably my favorite.
Yeah. Well, that guy especially, it's like, well, because you got to think Urkel he got typecast early because he's Urkel. But at least Urkel was the star of the show.
Yeah.
Carlton got typecast. He was a side character.
Wow.
Will Smith gets to move on and do Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Carlton is still Carlton.
Damn, that's crazy.
Think about that. Will Smith can do all kinds of shit.
And nobody from Seinfeld moved on, did anything. Elaine has a new show now, but
Yeah, that was great.
Took her like 20 years, though.
Yeah. And, you know, they all had like little spin-off sitcoms. But yeah, nothing's going to be as big as Seinfeld. But that's not because of typecasting, I think. That's just because, like, I mean, that show was just sort of like, you know, magic in a bottle. Whatever.
It was so big.
Yeah.
You can't unsee
You just can't really, that's just how that works. But the character, because like a character like Carlton is so specific. It's so you can't look at that guy and not think it.
Right.
Because it's always so like goofy and over the top. It's like,
I bet you people were so disrespectful running right up to Carlton in the airport, grabbing him, feeling on him. Older ladies, because that's what they did on the show. Remember, they'd pinch his butt or whatever.
Oh my God, yeah.
He probably had to deal with all that shit because they see you on TV, they think you're that nice, sweet guy. It's almost like stand-up. Like after a stand-up show, people just start touching you because they just watched you do stand-up.
Right.
It's the weirdest thing.
The other thing too is that like now that you're starting to get famous, you gotta like set people's expectations as far as height. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want people to think that. You don't want people disappointed when they see you in person. You want people to like somehow you got to film your videos with like, you know, you got to give them an idea.
Stuff in the background.
Yeah, right. 5'5". You just walk by a line. Just so it's like you never want to be the person who they see you in person and they're disappointed.
It always happens. You look taller online.
Yeah. You must be filming from an angle.
You know, people will start commenting, this dude's 5'2". This dude's so short.
I
so
saw
maybe
that guy
know.
Dave Portnoy in Barstool.
Yeah.
I mean, people think that he's 5'2", 5'3", and then he had to do a video where he's like, "No, I'm actually 5'10". And then everybody's watching the video like, "Nah, look at his feet." And they're trying to measure him next to trees and stuff.
He comes off tall. Plus, he's a Canadian.
Yeah.
You know, those Canadians are built tall.
Yeah. But it's like Tom Cruise. Think about that. Every time Tom Cruise meets somebody, they're like in their head. You know they're thinking about height.
They're let down for sure.
Yeah.
Stallone, Cruise. Even people talking about Schwarzenegger, they were like, no, he's not really tall, which I find that hard to believe. But
well, I think that's an advantage for bodybuilders because it makes your arms look bigger.
Well, when you get taller, when you get older, like Stallone was probably a decent height before, you know, when he was like 35, 40.
You don't shrink that much.
I mean, you could shrink probably 5 inches.
Nah. You shrink 5 inches from like your posture, but not from your literal back. Stallone still walks up straight.
Yeah, he does.
He still walks in with his chest. So it's like I think he was just never that big of a guy. That's why Drago looks fucking gigantic in Rocky IV. And it's like, in real life, these are not the weight class would not be the same.
Yeah, man, that is wild though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still sticking with Eddie Murphy. You never know. He might see my stand-up and be like, "Yo, you're funny."
Eddie Murphy doesn't do that to anybody. Yeah, this guy. Even if you know him, you don't know him.
Right.
He's like in the hills. Like you got to get through like a fence and then another fence and a fence. It's like the president.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He's probably made the most money out of all of them. Stallone, Adam Sandler.
Yeah, Adam Sandler for sure.
Adam Sandler,
though, yeah, I mean, it would be like, that's a guy you can meet.
He was nice. He was with his family. I was just like, I love your stuff. He's like, thank you, baby. You know.
If you just hang around New York City, though, I think you will see him playing basketball or something.
Yeah.
That guy's just in the mix.
Yeah, he's more attainable.
Yeah.
You ever see Eddie Murphy when he's on a late night thing? He's like so reserved. He's got to be cool all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think that is just how he is. I don't even think that's an act.
He's just a cool dude.
He just achieved so much at such a young age that he's like a Zen monk or something. Right? He's just got that. And when he turns it on, he still turns it on.
How do you keep calm
Shrek.
at that height? Somebody told me one time he was at this thing like at Radio City, and he was 19 years old, and it was packed, and they just asked him to go up and do some time, and he went up and did 5 minutes at Radio City. Like,
wow. He did doing stand up?
Yeah, maybe it wasn't Radio City, but
I mean, doing like back in those days, I think you could just bring out an old bit.
But he was 19. Like, I don't think he started stand-up until he was, 16 or something?
Yeah. I mean, he was 19. He was the man. That was, like, raw.
It's crazy. He was famous
when he was on
that
SNL.
quick. 3 years into stand-up.
Those were the days, too, back before, same thing we were saying, before social media, phones, YouTube, where people could actually watch your bits all day long. Back in those days, if you just had a killer bit, you could just do that shit for years.
Yeah.
You just go outside and do his Ice Cream Man bit or whatever.
Jay Leno talks about that all the time. But you're right. Yeah, he probably just had one in the back pocket.
It had to be the Ice Cream Man. Ice Cream Man's coming.
Yeah, that's the strongest bit.
Goonie Goo Goo.
Yeah, oh, dude, I forgot all about Goody Goo. And they came up with fish. His drunk dad bit, man. It's like, that's so strong. Yeah, I see a thing, Jay Leno trying to tell younger comedians. He's like, don't put your specials out. You might put a special out for $1 million. I made $1 billion on my jokes.
He's right. Oh, man, meeting Jay Leno would be nuts, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is like, because the reason why it would be a bigger deal than Bill Burr, even though we both love Bill Burr, is that, like, it's your childhood you're thinking about.
Yeah.
If you meet somebody who was famous when you were, like, 10 years old, that's when it's like you're going to become a little kid when you see him.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
And with Leno, though, like when he was on the ship I was getting off of, I could have hung out and waited the next morning and met him.
Really?
But I didn't want to meet him in the morning. Well, he's like the face of the new Carnival ship. They probably throw him a stupid-ass check to be on this Italian ship for like 3 days, you know. I wouldn't be surprised. He probably made $100,000 for this gig. You never know. He's Jay Leno.
He does. I mean, he works.
Yeah.
He's trying to get money.
He was on the ship, and they were like, hey, you know, if you want, a couple of you guys might be able to meet him in the morning over here. He talks to comics sometimes. And I should have stayed and waited to meet him. I don't know. I wanted to get off the ship. And it's like, I would have made Jay Leno in the morning. His voice wouldn't be woken up yet. You know? It's like, he's not
you don't want
to.
You want to see him at night.
Yeah, in the morning, he's, just hair messed up.
He looks real wrinkled and
Where's
old.
the coffee?
Plus, it's like, you don't want to meet him in a situation where it's like, all right, time to meet Jay Leno. You want to just be walking by.
Yeah.
You see him, you're in a green room or something. You guys just have a couple minutes to talk.
Somebody told me that we walked by him when we were in Miami. I didn't know if we did or not, if the guy was lying. Man, my buddy told me one time we were in Atlantis doing the Bahamas. He goes, yo, there goes Joe Rogan. It was Jack dude covered with tats. Dude, and I couldn't tell if he was Joe Rogan or not. That's how much this guy looked like him.
Wow.
I was like, are you Joe Rogan? He goes, no, I get it all the time.
Wow.
I started looking at the tats. I'm like, yeah, that ain't Joe.
You can't tell by the tattoos. Tattoos are tattoos. Joe Rogan does look like I mean, there is a lot of guys that look like Rogan.
That's what I mean.
That's not a very distinct look.
Yeah, it's not a distinct look.
And
just
plus
shaved
it's like
head, built.
Now it's like they're trying to look like Rogan, too.
Exactly.
So it's like, oh, man. Hulk Hogan.
Oh, dude.
That would be like,
I
would start crying.
I'd rip my damn shirt off. I'd be like, I'm a Hulkamaniac. I had the gold chain. I used to act like Hulk Hogan so much, my parents got scared. Or Fonzie. Fonzie'd be a good one.
That was before our time, though.
Well, yeah, but I still grew
he was
up on
already,
Happy
but I
Days.
mean, who was
but
already?
Hogan was the one.
Hogan would be like, that would be the guy. Where it'd be like, yeah.
What's up, brother?
And Hogan, too, he'd hang out with you.
Yeah, he would.
You know he's not sick of it. That guy loves that kind of shit. So he'd sit and hang out with you for like a whole night.
Yeah, Thunder Lips, dude.
He'd end up smoking weed
Commando.
with him or something. Yeah.
I could see that. A few of my friends smoked with Snoop Dogg. They said that was the highest they've ever been in their life.
Wow.
Like, I don't know where he gets the weed from. It was in Youngstown. He did a show in Youngstown.
Oh, yeah. I think Snoop Dogg's another guy. If you're just in the mix, you'll hang out with him.
Yeah, I wonder how cool he'd be, though. I feel like
he's probably like a cool guy.
I don't know. I feel like he still keeps that gangster shit with him. Like, yo, homie, I'm still Snoop, you know?
Nah.
I'm still the dog.
This guy is like, I mean, back in the day, I think. Now I think he's a guy who's just always hanging out.
You know who
just
was
smoke weed with?
Way too stuck up? Lil Wayne did some shit. We had an after party We all went and seen Lil Wayne. He made everybody wait 2.5 hours to see him till it was too long. Like 20% of the people left. They didn't want to wait no more. And then he finally comes out. I think to him it's like he wants to see how long he can make them wait.
Yeah.
But he came out, did a short show, got off early because he didn't feel like the crowd was fucking with him. And then we went to the after party, and I'm a huge Lil Wayne fan. I don't know. I was a little let down, man. I felt like he did such a short time.
Right.
And I was comparing him to Ludacris, who did like 3.5 hours.
Right.
Like Lil Wayne probably did an hour, you know?
Right.
And then at the after party, he went and sat on a balcony just eating a sucker while we all sat below him. Like just, I love you, Wayne. We're just yelling stuff.
I mean, you got to admit, that's kind of cool.
It is, yeah.
It's a little bit, it's a nice little aura kind of thing.
Yeah, he's got the aura there.
Yeah.
He could do that.
And that's another guy, too, though, where I bet you meet him, and everybody's thinking height.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, no, this dude's like short.
That's why he was way up on the balcony.
That's why those guys, Tom Cruise, he always has to, you got to see him from an angle.
Can you imagine Tom Cruise? No, you stay across the street.
Hey, I'm going to climb up on a ladder.
Yeah, just turn around. Yeah. And Tom would love to climb
scaffolding?
a ladder. Yeah.
That's why he's always on a rooftop.
Yeah. Jumping out of planes and shit.
Yeah, even Kevin Hart. My God. I mean, like, as famous as he is, and as like much as he leans into the short thing, and he makes jokes about it, I bet he still gets annoyed.
Yeah, and he comes out, he loves to tell people he's 5'5". He always says
he's
that.
Less than 5.
He says online.
He's like 5'2". Right?
Bro, he tells everybody, he goes, I'm 5'5". I don't know where you guys get these numbers from.
Nah.
What's the point of lying about it?
That's the thing. People are going to see you. That's why you got to undersell it. You gotta tell people you're 4'10".
Yeah.
Then they see you and you're 5'2", and it's like, oh wow.
Classic consultant trick.
Yeah. You gotta
under-promise,
over-deliver.
Yeah.
It's when you tell
people
people.
Always tell me that, even from when I meet them in person and off the cruise ships, or when I get off stage.
Oh wow.
You know, some of these stages are higher, like the one at Broadway. The upstairs room's a little higher. You could see it throws them off when they want to take a picture with you. They're like, I can't believe he's so little.
Yeah, you got to stand on the stage and have them on the ground.
And I dress good symmetrically. Because, like, it would be, you ever see a short person, their shirt's too long? It's like, you could tell he's short.
Mm-hmm.
I tuck my shirt in. So people have no clue how, you have nothing to put it to.
Well, until they're in front of you.
And I make sure the stool's away from the place.
Don't leave the mic stand right next to you. Yeah, it's a bad look. That's what's funny to me, though, about stand-up, because people do see you. And the goal is to have people see you in person. So it's like you see these comics who have, like, headshots. And they look like a fucking model.
Yeah.
They take these real shiny-looking headshots where they're all glamorous-looking. But it's like, no, that's not what you look like. We're going to see you in person, and it's not going to look like that. That's what you looked like 20 years ago.
Oh, dude. The best headshots are the ones on cruise ships.
Ah, yeah.
They think it's the wrong one. It's like, dude, this shit's 40 years old.
Well, there's a certain kind of headshot. There was a style of headshot from the 80s.
Yep.
Yeah, you see it at a comic strip. Everybody looks like Richard Gere or something. It's like a 20-year-old guy who's dressed up in like a blazer.
Dude, those headshots on cruise ships will blow you away. They're literally, some of them have to be 40 years old.
Wow. Hey, you got a good one. I guess you just keep riding it out.
It's like you got to update it, though. Or when you see the show's been on the Lawrence Welk show, it's like, you know.
Yeah, this guy was on Family Matters.
Yeah.
No, but it's like with headshots, that's like an acting thing. The thing with acting is, if you see Harrison Ford or something, it's like you're always seeing him in a movie. So he's always gone through makeup, and they're filming him in a specific way.
Yeah.
With stand-up, you see him in person.
Yeah.
We're at the Improv.
And you
it's
see
like
him,
I'm looking you under the lights are never that nice at a comedy club.
Also, that person just traveled 18 hours.
Yeah, exactly. He's not in his he couldn't even bring his good lotion on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to bring his travel
his
lotion.
Eyes twitching, he's fighting with his wife.
Yeah. And
somebody
it's like,
just did his bit online.
Yeah, that's why Craig Ferguson's never going to look great in person. It's like, I'm sure Bill Maher must look horrible. You see this fucking guy.
I'd love to fucking hang out with Craig Ferguson. He was the funniest late night one in my opinion. He was the
him and Conan.
Yeah, Conan went all out. What I like about Ferguson is he kept it easy, like he wasn't even trying.
It was like he got very British style.
Yeah.
Lay in the pocket.
Yeah, he would. He'd lay in the pocket and just be funny.
Yeah,
Conan went way over the top and did a lot of work and earned it.
If I ever meet Conan too, that would be exciting.
He comes off on TV like he's an asshole. Do you think he's like that in real life?
Nah, I think he's just like probably the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
You always hear about that, someone like that. He's also like tall as fuck.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy where they got to film him on TV to not look tall.
All those late night guys, when you see him shake hands with people,
Yeah.
Conan's
Letterman.
one for sure. Letterman.
Yeah. It wouldn't. That's the problem. Is that like because you were both trying to become more famous online, and it's like it's it's very exciting when you see the numbers go up, but we're never gonna get. It's never gonna be a little. You're never gonna be a kid again.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're never gonna be able to get to that excitement. Imagine if you had been famous when you were 10.
Right.
If you were actually 10 years old meeting Urkel while Family Matters was on, how much that would,
That would have been insane.
Yeah.
Like some Make-A-Wish shit.
Yeah.
Would you ever go do that if you got famous? I'd try to give back a little. It's got to be sad, though.
Oh, you mean to go to like a hospital?
Yeah.
I do. I mean, if I would have to have a character.
Yeah.
If I had a character like Urkel where you could show up in character.
Yeah, because you can't really just go be hanging out.
Well, you can't just be a stand-up comic.
Well, people wouldn't want to see us, actually.
Do my act. No, I think they'd want to meet you, but they'd expect something. You were going to do something. So I think somebody like, if you beat like Gilbert Gottfried back in the day.
Yeah.
That's like a character.
Yeah.
So he's going to show up and he's going to do Aladdin voices. And it's like, it's a fun time. But me or you show up. It's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ohio accent.
Smelling like cigarettes.
Museum of the Dog.
Yeah. This place is a piece of shit.
Pretend we're at the Museum of the Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
who knows, man? It's going to be wild if we actually do become famous. I actually had some weird, indifferent thoughts about it like 3 months ago to where I started thinking, I was getting recognized a lot. For me, it's when I have a lot of big videos back to back.
Yeah.
Like, then if you get lucky and you get like, dude, there was one time I got like 20 million views in like a week.
Right.
Not even.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear I was getting recognized 30 times a day. I started thinking to myself, like, if this gets any bigger, I might always be that guy. Like we said.
Yeah, it's like Urkel.
It's a scary thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, I thought in my mind, imagine if 500 people told me about Museum of the Dog.
Wow.
It's like, imagine if I was just the Museum of the Dog guy.
Yeah.
You
would wish that here's the thing you can't do is you can't go back to the Museum of the Dog.
Right.
And try to run it back. That's pathetic. You got to act like it's not even a big deal.
Do a reunion of the Museum of the Dog.
Remember me?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember this place?
Yeah.
It still sucks.
Man, it's been years since I've been here. Memories, huh?
Yeah, right.
And the place still
Dynamite.
Honestly, bro, that's the video. If I say, man, this is my first mega viral video,
That is
I had
so
to come
sad.
back, and the place still sucks.
That's pathetic. You got to leave it in the past.
I like doing new shit. I see a lot of these influencers that give me advice. They go, you get something, you got to run it into the ground. I get bored with that.
You see the point, though. You see why people do it.
Yeah, it works.
It does get in people's head. And, you get a little catchphrase going. Stomp your feet. You're good.
Yeah, you're good to go. Get the gunshots.
That's why, it is better to, like, have a nice, steady rise.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're going to go from 0 to a million. Because it's like, no, you get, there's steps along the way. So you are gathering people as you're going along.
With what you're doing, I could totally see what you're doing becoming an actual, like, show on Netflix where it's you doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, it's the same thing as, like, Bill Maher or somebody. Those kind of shows, yeah.
It could totally be. I mean, you may have your own different twist on it, but I could see that happening.
Well, that's
soon.
why I'm glad I'm not doing a character.
Oh, dude,
and there's not like a
catchphrase.
Because it's like the thing with those characters, you do it by accident, really.
Yeah.
You do a million videos in a day. We could sit down and bang out a bunch of videos. One of them just randomly gets crazy.
Yeah.
Where you're the guy with the fucking funny nose.
I'm friends with the taco dude. He said it was so weird. It changed his life. That's like mega viral. We never went that viral. It probably got like, I don't know, easily 500 million.
Yeah, Hawk to it.
Yeah, this dude had the thing where he's like, I want to pass out tacos to the homeless. Can I have $30 worth of tacos? They give them to him. That cuts to him in his car eating, cracking up.
Oh, yeah.
The shit went mega viral. Wow. I think he almost lost his job over it.
Jesus Christ. Well, that's the thing, too, is what do you do next?
Right.
At least me and you, we have the skill set of like, I can keep doing new stuff.
Right.
Whereas that guy went from 0 to a billion. And it's like, then what?
And I like doing new acting skits. Like, I played an Italian photographer today.
It's just new ideas. You can approach it from different angles. Even if you're doing the exact, I do basically the same format, but the ideas are different. So it's like I can still express myself. But you get famous as Hawk that's it.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Hawk wasn't even on her own channel.
No,
was somebody else's channel, and she's the one that blew up from it.
And she needs all those catchphrases. That's her whole thing. Spit on that thing, or your hold isn't always holy. And my grandmother told me that's like her route. That there's one influencer or a comedian influencer that got famous for some sort of a character, and he told me he has to do it. He does all his jokes up front, and then the last 15 minutes he just does the character, and the place just goes nuts the whole time.
There you go.
It's almost like just do the character the whole time.
Well, it's even worse. Is like Different Strokes, Ray J.
Oh, yeah.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
That's copyrighted, so he can't even do it.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You got to own the licensing for things if you're signing.
Well, you don't know that when you're going in.
Right.
Yeah, when you're signing up to be on a TV show, you're not thinking about doing stand-up in 30 years.
Man.
So it's like that guy, everybody shows up wanting him to say Dynamite. He can't say it.
Dude, you got to be lying to me.
I think it's true. Look it up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he'd get sued if he says it.
I don't know about sued, but I think there is a violation there. It's, somebody else wrote that line for him. You can't just run around talking about these are trademark things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it's like that. That's the worst possible position you could ever be in. You got famous for a catchphrase that you can't say.
And it's like those checks dried up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't keep getting paid from it. So it's like.
Well, he has another catchphrase that's not Dynamite, and it's not sticking.
Yeah. It can happen.
Yeah, like that. What you talking about, Willis?
Oh, yeah.
Those people, I wouldn't know what to do. I knew a girl that was instantly, this was a while ago. I mean, she's probably not even around no more, but she was a comedian. Then she did a little character on TikTok. It blew up. It was like getting ready, but her whole fan base was 12-year-old girls. And she toured theaters, 5,000 12-year-old girls. They'd be bringing their family, and she had to just get ready the whole time in the thing.
Wow.
And do her lines like she's getting ready. But she was actually a very funny, good, well-thought-out comedian. But, you got famous for that.
Yeah, they give them what they want to see.
They went mega viral for it.
Yeah, I knew a guy who was like, he blew up on America's Got Talent. And, like, it went crazy. But like you were saying, all of your fans are, like, 10 years old. And he wasn't really, like, a 10-year-old kid act.
Right.
So it's like he could only do a specific kind of thing. But he also had to go on tour immediately.
Yeah.
That show was airing live towards the end. So it's like he goes immediately to theaters, but he doesn't have any more material. You do all your best jokes on America's Got Talent to get to that top level. And now everybody's going all these, like he's doing these 5 o'clock shows at the Improv, and it's sold out. All little kids who have all watched your best bits.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, you got to scramble and try to make something of it. But it's like.
Better call a writer.
That's a lot of pressure. Yeah. You know how this is. You can't. That's not how comedy works. You can't just drum up an act. It's
right.
That's why you got to keep. That's why I'm writing so much now. You got to keep some stuff in reserve.
I'm trying to write and work it out, dude. I keep reminding myself we only get enough that we could handle because it's like I'm going 10 different directions.
You got a lot going. You about to get taken a bus for 19 hours.
Yeah.
Well, let's give a shout out to your cousin again, huh?
Yo, give
Mikey?
it up for Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony and the lovely bride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Congratulations.
You're going to be on a nice long bus ride.
Yep, taking a 20-hour Greyhound. I did the math. 20 hours each way.
Oh
2 trips. It's 80 hours. It's a 2 weeks, a full weeks on a bus. When you think about it,
yeah.
Like that's 2 work weeks
plus recovery time. Yep.
Yeah, the recovery time is really what gets me. I'm out of shape. I'm stretching shit.